Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all the love on my first video. I was overwhelmed by the feedback, so thank you, it means a lot. I also asked you guys for some ideas and what you would like to see me filming for the channel going forward. So I was reading through the comments and a good few of them stuck out to me. And I do have some ideas on what I'd like to film next, but some of my ideas are time sensitive, and what I mean by that is they need to be filmed at a certain time, or parts of them need to be filmed at a certain time. I'm not going to give too much away, but I do have some ideas for future videos. Yeah, the feedback was great, so thank you. A video that I thought I could just sit down and film was a video about the filming equipment I use. So I've got it all laid out here, or should I say the stuff that I most frequently use, the stuff that I travel with and things like that. I've not planned this out or anything, so I'm probably just going to jump straight into it. I'll start with the cameras. I talked about this camera a little bit in my last video. This is the Canon EOS 80D. This was the first camera that I ever bought, and I just basically taught myself how to use it. I didn't have a background in photography or anything like that. When I started doing this job, I watched YouTube videos and I just went out and shot everything that I could to get used to it. But yeah, it's a great camera. I think it's about a 20 to 23 megapixel camera. I can't remember the specifications of a lot of the stuff. I probably should have researched that, but I'm not going to go into depth. I'm just going to let you know what I use and why. This served me so well. I never ever changed my lens. I got this with the camera. It's 18 to 135. It's also a Canon lens. I've done everything with this camera, from Jamie's work pictures to filming to vlogging. I have recently upgraded my camera to a Sony. I'll go on to that just in a second. I'm just using this for vlogging now. So I've got my little grip on it. This is the Joby grip. To be honest, this camera is a little bit big for this Joby grip, so I usually just use it as a stand. If you've got a smaller camera on one of these little Joby grips, you can attach it to things. I've had it attached to tree branches and things like that. On top, I've got my little Rode mic. This is one of the cheaper Rode mics. It's just a one bang-in attachment shotgun mic. It just clears up the audio a little bit. Yeah, it served me well. I really enjoyed it, and I'm still using it, which is always a good sign. With my 80D, I also tend to use my C grip. It's just in place of the Joby grip. Basically just gives you better stabilisation. You can get lower shots. Yeah, quite straightforward. The one advantage that I had with the 80D over my new camera was that this has got a flip out screen, so you can see what you're doing. That's the only disadvantage that this new camera has. Everything else is perfect. It's an absolute monster. I love it. I've had it for about 3 months now. It is the Sony a7R III. The main first attraction I had to this camera was the body size. Now, going from something like a Canon, which is pretty bulky, I use the 80D, and I also use what I'm filming with right now. It's the 5D. They're quite bulky bodies. The Sony is compact, it's small. It doesn't look too small just now because I've got attachments on it. When I first bought this, I had my 55mm lens, the Sony 55mm 1.8 f-stop lens. I don't have it here with me just now, it's upstairs. I've done a lot of Jamie's portrait shots with that and some full body shots as well. And then just within the last month, I've upgraded to this new G Master 2.8 24 to 70 lens, and it is a beast. It's so sharp, the bokeh you get on it's incredible with the 2.8 f-stop. I use it for every picture I take now. I don't like taking pictures with anything else but this camera. Not that I've used a mad amount of cameras in my time, to be honest. I just find this has been the best of the bunch so far. When I got this lens, I found that it was quite top heavy. So I've got the Sony battery grip. Basically, the battery grip just allows you to hold the camera like so. It's got an extra shooter button here. It's also got a couple of extra customised buttons, and it holds 2 batteries in here as well. And it just kind of evens out the weight a little bit. Up the top, I've got my newer, I never understood how to pronounce that, flash floodlight. I've also got one of the near little speed lights here. To be honest, I find myself using the floodlight a lot more, just because you've got the constant light, and because I'm filming a lot of the time, it saves me carrying 2 flashes around. So yeah, best camera I've ever used, without a doubt. It is pretty expensive, but it's been totally worth it so far. Next up is one of my favourites. It is the GoPro. I've been using the GoPro Hero 5 for years now. I know there's been a few more models released since this one, but this has been used to death this little thing. If you've never used a GoPro before, I highly recommend using one. Even if you're just like beginner or amateur filming, it is brilliant. It shoots in 4K. I put it 1080p at 60 FPS. It's got the fisheye lens on it. You've probably seen what GoPros do. I won't go into too much. Where they'd really excel though are the attachments. The attachment that I use most is the suction cup. I'd struggle to tell you all the places I've used this GoPro with the suction cup, man, honestly. It's been on plane windows, buggies, bonnet of the car, yachts, and I've still not lost it. Once this is stuck on, there is no getting it off unless you release the lever. The other attachment I use with it is my gimbal. This is the GoPro Karma Grip. It's pretty much just like any other gimbal. It's got a motor mechanism in here. You turn it on and it just gives you steady footage. I actually broke this not that long ago. I had to fix it. I was on a roller coaster. I was getting flung around everywhere, man, and it gubbed the mechanism. But yeah, it's a great little tool as well. So they are the two most used attachments for a GoPro. I know that DJI have just released their version of a GoPro. I think it's called the Osmo, I think. DJI Osmo, Action Osmo. I've heard good things about that. I've also heard good things about the newer version of the GoPro. It's the GoPro Hero 7 Black, and it's got a built-in stabilizer, so you know that kind of takes away the need for any gimbal or anything like that. So I will be upgrading soon, but this thing has been a godsend to me. Now on to my favourite, unparalleled favourite of all time. It is my DJI Mavic Pro drone. This is the DJI Mavic Pro, and it has done all of my drone shots over the last year and a half. It doesn't get better than drone shots for me, and this thing is brilliant. If you've never used a drone before, basically you just download a smartphone attachment, plug your phone into the drone controller, and away you go. Pretty much you just need to make sure you are in a safe fly zone and your device is up to date and all your firmware is updated and things like that. But I've been in some messy situations with this. I like to think I'm a bit of a daredevil when it comes to drone flying, but I don't think there's any other way to get the risky shots. You need to do the risky business. So I've flown it through a windmill in the last week. I've flown it over hotels in LA. It's had many near misses with the sea. We were away on a work trip and we were out on a yacht. This is a strange one because it's only partly my fault. We were out on the yacht and the yacht had anchored. So my drone was up in the air. I was flying it around, getting the shots of the yacht. So without warning, the captain of the yacht anchors up, full throttle takes off, and I'm playing catch up with the drone trying to race it back to the boat. I managed to get it back, but the boat's going full speed. I can't control it, and it totals itself into the DJ booth, nearly takes the DJ out and itself out. It's been through some narrow escapes and it's still going strong. Best drone I've used. I've used a few drones, all DJI, but without a doubt this Mavic Pro is my favourite. 10 out of 10 every day of the week. Lastly, once all my filming's done, it's all saved on SD or micro SD cards, and it's put onto my MacBook Pro. I do all of my editing on my MacBook Pro. I just got so used to being able to edit on my lap and on the go that I stopped using my Mac. If you're looking for a quick and easy way to get your footage onto your MacBook, the MacBook ports are the USB-C ports. So I got this little mofo adapter on Amazon. Pretty cheap, I think it was like 30 quid or something like that. It's got space for your SD, micro SD and USB ports as well. So yeah, that's where the magic happens. So guys, that about wraps it up. This isn't everything that I used to film, but it's the stuff that I will always have on me, and it's the stuff that I use most frequently. If there is anything you would like to know certain specifications of, let me know down below and I'll see what I can do. Feel free to also let me know some of the gadgets that you guys use and some stuff that you would recommend to me as well. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. One of the ideas that stuck out was a video about my gear. If you come from the west of Scotland, gear means something completely different than camera equipment, so I'm going to call it my gadgets. It's not got a zoom or anything. I know they updated model. I sound like I need to update everything, man. I'm using old equipment. I apologise for my red face. Oh, these lights are so hot. I am not nervous, I am not embarrassed. It's just very sunny in Scotland at the moment. And without warning, the pilot of the yacht, you coming to say hello? Wrong, but I'm filming. Oh, the pilot of the yacht, the pilot. How many megapixels? It should not be hard to find out how many fucking megapixels. Hey, come on, get a picture. Say biscuit.